Hi, this is Simon Chan and welcome to my network marketing training. Members of my coaching mastermind groups can ask me questions on a weekly basis, any tips and advice. And today's question comes from Bingkoy Villegas out in Davao City, out in Mindanao in the Philippines. And Bingkoy says, "Hi Simon, I'm sending out a question via email because it may be sensitive to others' culture in the business. But it's okay if you feel my question applies to all and want to share it with the group as well. My question is, how do you draw the line on the quote-unquote yes upline culture? We are always told to always say yes upline, to obey whatever our upline tells us to do, almost like a cult that one gets banished for not obeying. While I'm sure it has its own merits, I'm not sure whether it must be a blanket order. Sometimes it curtails the creativity and innovativeness of future leaders. As a director, I will want to hear the voice of my team rather than just say yes upline. I've seen the cohesiveness of your team in Manila, parentheses, Billy De La Fuente, Natsunio, Eduardo Riccardi, just to name a few, and I admire them a lot. They're an awesome group, but I haven't experienced their culture since I live in the southern part of the Philippines, in Davao City. What's the wisdom behind their success? Sincerely, Binks." All right, great question. Okay, so Bing, first of all, I think they have every team has a different culture, and you work with the culture that works best for the group. I mean, we talked about the 4 types of downlines, right? The whiners, the followers. The whiners are 27%. The followers are 65%. 5% supporters, they're like your right-hand man, woman, and 3% are the real leaders that would take the organization to grow. So in every successful organization, you do need something, a bond that holds the group together, because the only 8% are, 3% are leaders, right? But only really, if you count the supporters, a total of 8% that actually will, whatever it takes, they'll do something to become successful. So you're talking about 92% of the, I would say, the herd, the sheep out there that need guidance. Now, these people may eventually, the wineries, they're going to quit anyway. But other group, they eventually may develop into leaders, right? It'll be tough, but through mentoring, working, they can. And they also have to have the desire to do so. They can do it, but they have to want it, right? But before they get to that stage, you need to keep that group going. So it doesn't matter what type of what type of team. Every team has its own culture. Now, it turns out in the Philippines, they have the yes upline culture. In other groups, in other women's groups, I know, successful older women groups, you say yes upline, that will fail immediately. But they have their own group, own way, some are product focused, some are just like holistic focus, some are like focused through alternative things. So everyone has their own organization, own culture. And some people have car cultures, right? So you do whatever works. It just happens in the Philippines. A lot of them do the young group. A young group, they have the pros of high energy, dynamic, enthusiasm. Some of the disadvantages, sometimes you get distracted easily, the lack of focus, right? Or they're inexperienced. So inexperienced, not just in network marketing, in life in general. They make a lot of mistakes, right? I think as we get older, you realize how little you knew when you're young. So with this younger group, you kind of need the leaders, the ones that you mentioned, Billy, Natsunio, Riccardi. It's also Mel Clarion, Ed Miguel, right? The very, very experienced. So you need something to keep the group together until they mature to the point until they become a leader. So that yes upline, it keeps the young group following and doing the right thing. Some people may seem like it's like cult-like. You can, fair enough, you can say that. But then you can use, it depends on how you use the word cult. You can say any network marketing organization is like a cult, right? If you expand that definition a little bit more. So the yes upline, I believe for that group, it's necessary. It works. The culture, it works. For the Filipino culture, it works. For people who are a little older, maybe they don't like it that much. For a young group, it is necessary, I think. And it's a great thing they have it. But I actually wrote some notes here. You asked what makes that, what makes the wisdom behind the success is a couple of things. Number one, they're very experienced in network marketing. Okay, the leaders are experienced. They had network marketing experience before, but they just joined the companies that were local companies that failed. So when they finally found the multinational company like USANA, they were ready for it. But so they experienced this experience. They realized you need to keep the followers together. So whether it's the yes upline culture or a product focus, you need something. But I think one of the things that makes them successful is the leaders all lead by example. They lead by example, meaning they all work very, very hard. I mean, whether you're seeing Billy and his wife Pin, they work hard, running around doing trainings. Natsunio is in the office to sometimes 2 a.m. doing meetings from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. working. There's one time during this easy month where he was working from 11 to 11, right? 11 to 11 doing 8 presentations a day. So their future leaders that he's grooming, he inspires them. They see what it takes. They want his money, and he's making very, very good money. Incredible. They see the work ethic, right? So they do that. I mean, Dwight Riccardi, he works, he works too. He's always late there. When I travel out there, I leave, end up like 11 p.m., 11:30. He's out on the streets still sharing with his team. It becomes the culture, right? They go eat together, they share, right? But they see their leader working hard. Their leader's not at home watching TV. Their leader's out on the streets sharing and teaching, right? So they have a great culture. It's like, if you want your team to move fast, you got to move fast. And they're a great example of being out there in the field, working, and that inspires the teams. And they set the example. So there's one thing when you say you got to work hard, but you're not there. But you actually don't even need to say it. If every day you're at the office to 11, 12, 1 in the morning, and then the office closes, you're out on the streets and restaurants to McDonald's to 1 sharing, your team knows you're working. And they see you making the money, and they want to be like that, right? Also, the ones who want to be like that, they make themselves available. So if you're hungry, want to learn, and Riccardi's out there sharing, you can hang out with them. The ones who are hungry, and that's also his way to figure out who wants it, who doesn't want it bad, right? The ones who want it bad, they hang out with him all the time. He knows those are the people he works with, and what's the wisdom is behind, they lead by example. It's the relationship building. It's all about relationships, right? When the relationship is strong, the people follow you. They look up to you because you lead by example. And they trust you so when he's out there late, with Natsuni or Billy, they're doing the team stuff, they're building relationships with their key people. And they have all strong relationships of not just about business, but friendship and trust, right? He's sharing his experience, his stories, his war stories in network marketing, the good and the bad and the ugly. He's sharing them, teaching, and each story, there are lessons behind them, right? So it's about the relationship building. And I think the last thing I want to add is eventually leaders, right? You said the creativity, innovative. You can promote that, right? Like you can't be creative, but the natural leaders will come up in time. They see what it takes. They'll come up. Just have them. Hey, if you're interested in doing something, right? You got to reach a certain level before you can go off, right? But I think a lot of times people, once you get to a level they want to take off, they'll have a talk. Their leadership will increase to a level where I'm not just going to take off and upset my mentor, my upline. They realize, hey, I need to have a heart-to-heart talk. If I want to do things a little differently, maybe see if it's okay, right? Because out of respect, again, all about the relationship. If I don't have a relationship, I don't need to think twice about it. I'll just do my own thing. But if I have a strong relationship with my leader, hey, I don't want to hurt his feelings. I want to have a heart-to-heart talk, see how I want to grow my creativity, but how we can grow together. Okay, so like I said, when the relationship is strong and you're leading, the leaders put themselves out there, working hard, the team sees it, they'll naturally go up there and do these things. And so I hope that helps. So remember, every team has its own culture, right? Every team. It's just in the Philippines, the yes culture, it works well for that young group because they need it, right? They need it, they like it, and they make it fun as well. Okay, Binks, I hope that helpful. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask another question. And let me know. Let me know what you think, and if you have any ideas what you want to do. I'll be more than happy to listen and give you some advice. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching my network marketing training. There's a great leadership question by Binks that he asked out in Davao City. Thank you, everyone. See you guys next time. Take care.